Fox 40 studios in the Southern Tier, it's time for the Sports Roundup.
Coming up tonight on the Roundup, and max standings for the boys' side. In the Metro, Johnson City sits in first and could clinch the division even with a win over UE on Friday. And before we go, let's take a look at the Bills playoff game with the Steelers live. The Buffalo Bills up 31-17. And the women were on the road last week, dropping 2 games on Thursday. The Retrievers Binghamton will take the series with a win on Sunday 5-3. Bearcats finish up the regular season next weekend at NJIT before returning home for the America East tournament beginning on May 22nd. And for the Binghamton softball team, their season will come to a close on Friday. The Bearcats would win their first game of the America East tournament as the 2 seed. At the Commissioner's Cup playoffs, Continental 1 seed Columbus sweeps Mississippi, while Carolina. We shift gears to softball, where Deposit Hancock bested CO Friendship in a rematch of last year's state title game in the semifinals, punching their ticket to the state championship once more. Then in the chip, the DH Eagles taking Long Island by storm, facing Section 2's Salem. DH can make it 3 straight. 31, they'll play the winner of our next matchup. Lights are out at Seton where the Saints host the Spartans. Vemi start us out the second half. Corner 4, the Little Irish Shenango Valley's historic season comes to a close, falling to the champs out of Section 5. To the game immediately following that win in Class C with Johnson City hosting Honeoye Falls Lima. We approach Sunday's game. Here we go against the Senators, but at the beginning of this one, Bears undefeated at home in the playoffs. And the horn sounds, Carolina ends the first, still up 2-0. And the Thunderbirds go into Saturday with a win over the Black Bears, but this would be a preview of what's to come later in the year. To Thanksgiving Eve, fans were out there for a mid-week tilt, and the Bears debuting their...
You gotta take one step at a time. So right now, the next step for me is Division I basketball, free. So yeah.
And worry on what those non-conference games have meant to the team and how excited they are to be back home.
Hopefully down the road we learn from those games. You know, you get in and
feel very good. Feel very good. Feel healthy. Heard a lot. The guys and
the organization and everybody that was here for 3 years supporting us. Relief is probably the main one, to be honest, but it's
Joining us now is 2-time All-American and one of the most decorated Binghamton University athletes of all time, wrestler Lou Dupre. Lou, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll start here. Obviously, 0-4 to start. Let's bring in our live reporter, Thomas Turgeon, for a look at the Section 4 girls wrestling qualifiers hosted by Whitney Point. Thomas, what do you have?
Thanks, Ian. Obviously, here at Whitney Point, where the Section 4 state qualifiers were taking place a couple hours ago. Obviously, all the mats are taken down now, but a couple hours prior, it was
with Binghamton University men's basketball head coach Lavelle Sanders. Most importantly, how the Binghamton Blackbirds hoisted the Commissioner's Cup at home in front of thousands of Binghamton fans. All that and more coming up right now on the Fox 40 Sports Roundup. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for our latest edition of the Roundup, brought to you by Simmons Rockwell Ford, your one-stop shop for all things Southern Tier sports. I'm your host, Ian Mills. On this week's edition